Love after 50 doesn't look the way it used to. And honestly, that's not a bad thing. It's just different. It's not butterflies, spontaneous date nights anymore. You know, it's not, let's just jump in the back of the truck. We'll go up to the mountains, sleep in the back of the truck under the stars. Let's be honest. If you jump in the back of that truck, it's possible you won't be going to work all next week. Might not even be getting out of bed. And that, my friends, is life. Sleeping under the stars in the back of the truck. That's a whole new set of problems right there. Completely different set of problems. Honestly, sometimes love looks way different at 50. Sharing a quiet cup of coffee in the morning and reminding each other to take your meds. Hey, did you take your meds yet? No. So you get up and go take your meds. Sitting side by side without really needing to fill the silence. And it's helping each other remember what the doctor said and the name of the new medication he just prescribed. It's reminiscing over the aches and the pains, and sometimes sharing some Tylenol. And that's on the bad days. And honestly, it's choosing kindness when you're tired and you've already repeated yourself like 10 times because he didn't hear you the first 9 times. But seriously, all joking aside, if you're in this season of life, you probably already know this kind of love may not be flashy and sparkly, but it's real. I'm Kim from Built from a Broken Life, and I'm here and we're going to talk about some things. So hit pause, go get you a cup of coffee or tea, iced tea, whatever you like, and then come on back and let's sit down and have a chat. Okay. Got your tea or coffee? All right, let's get started. When we're younger, we tend to think romance is all about excitement. It's that spark. It's that chemistry. It's those butterflies in your stomach. The feeling of being swept off your feet. And oh, what a beautiful thing. But life has a way of reshaping our understanding of love. Okay? Especially when you get a little bit older and wiser. So most likely, this isn't your first relationship. You've had some things happen in your past, and those things that happened wasn't healthy or good for you. So let me ask, what do you do with that baggage? What do you do with that unhealed part of you? By the time we reach our 50s and beyond, most of us have been through some things. We've faced stress, loss, family struggles, disappointments, and heartbreak. We've learned that life doesn't always go according to plan. Like, who wakes up one morning and just decides to go find an abusive person to fall in love with? It's like you don't plan it. And let me tell you, that would be no one. It seems like those people, wolves, are really good at hiding in sheep's clothing. With that being said, those experiences just don't disappear. They come with us into our marriage or our relationship, even just relationships, period. And depending on the extent of the abuse and the length of which we have to go to heal and fix ourselves, that will determine how much we carry over into our relationships. Marriage, especially over time, has a way of revealing what's still inside us. Even if we have done some work on ourselves, the unhealed wounds, the habits we picked up along the way, the fears that we don't talk about, it's not always comfortable, but we need to talk about it. Well, and here's the reality. That honestly can either pull a couple apart or it can deepen their bond in ways that younger love just can't comprehend, because that love hasn't experienced what an older couple has been through. Real love after 50 isn't boring. It's deeper. It's quieter, yes, but it carries more weight. It's built on years of shared experiences, both good and hard. And some of those experiences can help the next generation How, you ask? Well, you can share those experiences when one of your kids comes to you to sit down and have a conversation. Just be honest with them. Maybe hard, maybe really hard, because maybe you've done some dumb stuff in your past and your kid's doing some dumb stuff and you really want to prevent them from making the same mistakes. And sometimes you sharing your experiences helps. Sometimes it doesn't either. They have to experience it on their own. But, you got a 50-50 chance if you share it. You've got no chance if you don't. An older love it's the kind of love that says, I still choose you, even when things aren't easy, even when you're both tired, even when life feels so heavy. This is when the vows kick in, remember, in sickness and in health. The attraction and the romance doesn't disappear. They're still there. They just look different. It's less about chasing a feeling, and it's more about the consistency and about building a steady and lasting relationship. Older Christian marriage advice often points to this shift. It reminds us that love matures and grows roots. And those roots are what keep a relationship standing when the storms come. And those storms will come. But the more you grow together as a couple, the storms will seem calmer and smaller, because you can count on each other. You can count on the consistency of your spouse and yourself getting through these, because you can get through anything together. There's a scripture, 1 Corinthians 13, is quoted so often when we talk about love. And it says, love is patient and kind. It does not envy. It doesn't boast. It keeps no record of wrongs. At first glance, those words sound simple, almost too simple. But after years of marriage, you realize just how powerful they really are. Because patience isn't always easy. When you've had the same disagreement for the 100th time, and kindness is a choice. When your body hurts and you're exhausted, keep no records of wrong. That takes real intention. Can you be intentional? Can you look back and really make the choice to keep no record? Honestly, here's the beautiful part. Those qualities become a foundation of lasting love. Over time, patience and kindness stop feeling like obligations, and they start feeling like the very language of your relationship. It's amazing. And that's where the real romance lives. So what does this look like in everyday life? It's the small things that are most important. So these are some things we do as a couple. And I make sure that I'm intentional about it. And I really feel these things for my husband, because he is such a kind and gentle soul. He goes far above and beyond of anything that he needs to do for our relationship. So I say thank you, even for the most routine things. Appreciation goes a long way, especially after years together. And I appreciate my husband. Like I said, he goes above and beyond for me and our family. Even though our kids are all grown up and they're moved out, our grandchildren visit a lot, and they have growing boy appetites. Let me tell you, they'll eat you out of house and home, if you know what I mean. So, all right, back to the story. Reach out and touch their hand. Physical connection doesn't have to be grand to be meaningful. Sometimes a simple touch. It says, I'm still here with you, and I still choose you. Pray together. It may feel awkward at first. Asking God into your relationship builds a deeper connection that goes beyond what you can build on your own. And it's important not to just use that old crap, because there's going to be something that he's done in the past or she's done in the past that just irritates the crud out of you. I'll just let that go. Just let it go. You've already probably told them about it, and you guys have already processed it, and hopefully they're not still doing it. And it's really, when you're frustrated, it's easy to bring up the past. But doing that really eats away at the trust and the safety that you work to build. If an old feeling rears its ugly head, be sure to talk about it. Let your person know what's going on in your head. Maybe they'll be able to help, or maybe you need a minute just to process it. But at least they'll know it's nothing that they did wrong, and communication is very important. So choose to speak truth with love. Have honest conversations, even when they're uncomfortable or downright hard, because those talks, when handled with care, can rebuild respect, restore your connection, and bring healthy healing where it's needed. Love after 50 may not look like it did in the beginning, but that doesn't mean it's fading. It means it's evolving. Different doesn't mean dead. In fact, it can mean stronger, wiser, and more meaningful than ever. God isn't finished with your relationship. He can still heal what's been hurt, soften what has grown hard, and restore what feels distant. He can teach you both how to love in a deeper and more intentional way. So if your love looks different today, don't be discouraged. Lean into it. There's beauty in this season, real, honest, lasting beauty. And sometimes the quiet kind of love is the strongest kind of love there is. Now, you're with me still. Thank you so much for being here. I am Kim from Built from a Broken Life. And if you can resonate with anything, drop me some comments. If you could suggest anything that you want to hear or talk about, let me know. Remember, love always wins. Thank you so much for being here, and God bless. Have a great day, night, whatever it is. Thanks. Bye.